when I was a kid, I wanted to put 1,000,000 in my tub. That's what I was doing as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
The bathtub?
In the bathtub, because I feel like if I put that 1,000,000 in the bathtub, I could really wash the money. You know what I'm saying? Because I really be getting to it. I had to, you know what I'm saying?
I see.
So, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I have to tell Shorty. It's like, baby, if you really want me, you got to show me love, baby. You can't just talk good. You see? Because you can talk good and trick my mind. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Language is primitive. You know what I'm saying? Energy is everything. So it's like you can talk good and trick me in my mind. So it's like really got
ain't primitive. Do not fall for that, y'all. Tweaking.
How is language not primitive?
I really took that in. Like that line is kind of tweaking, but that's what he does. He talks good as a bitch and he trick your mind. Language ain't primitive. Language is one of the most complex things we've ever constructed.
We didn't construct it. You see, that's the problem with this new generation.
That would only prove my point.
No, we didn't construct it. That was the Tower of Babel. See, that's the problem. You need to really read your Bible.
Okay, but
read your Bible. When you read the Bible, you understand that the reason why language is even here the way it is to dysfunction us.
See, you're talking good at another. The way it is and the way it's here is two different things.
What are you talking about? That's how language was created, boy.
How?
But when we came together and we was in one and in unison and tried to get to God,
communicating?
Language was created to divide us. You see what I'm saying? So that we would not be on one accord, so that we would not be able to do certain things and feel like we are our own gods.
I don't think that's more the point where you just ended with everything
that's
else.
The whole vibe of what language was,
not the point of the Tower of the Babel, Tower of Babel.
Man, I need you to go back and read that, my boy.
It was not.
That's in Genesis, G. I'm trying to tell him, man.
You can make it sound like God was being vengeful and he didn't want
not at all. Because the reason the Tower of Babel was so important to the overall story was because they believed that they could be their own God. They believed that they put themselves over God. They made themselves an idol before God. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And God had to be in the midst of it. Where 2 or 3 are gathered, I must be in the midst. So he had to be in the midst of it all. But it was that was the reason for it all. So language was created from there.
Again, no, it wasn't, bro. You're tweaking. How were they talking if language was created there? You're wildin', bro.
The complexity of different languages. How do you
That's a different sentence.
How do you get languages?
That's a different sentence again. You realize that, though? Do you realize that?
Obviously, they were able to communicate with a language, but that's language. Oh my gosh, whatever.
Bro, Brooks is on Mr. Literal. That's what Brooke calls me. That's my nickname.
And that's the problem. You need to.
But I always argue, Mr. Literal. You mean, to me that sounds like Mr. Correct.
No,
no. Literal is the right. Like, imagine saying, like, it'll be 2 + 2 is 4. Mr. Literal. It could be like if you have a little 0.3 and you're just not mentioning it. It's like, no. It matters, bro. The details matter. And that's what we want to talk about today, guys. The details matter. You may think something's not important, but the little things add up. 6 bricks build something 6 bricks high.
Like, what? 6 bricks do what? What is
6 days of hard work
you know what I'm saying?
Pays off. But it takes us 6 days. We were talking the other day about like goals. And you were bringing up goals. And I said, Roman, all of those stuff are out of our control, bro. He was saying, this and this. I'm like, all that stuff is beyond what we can do. And I'm big on setting goals that are based on action because it's those little bricks that you can place, If you rely on someone else to build your house, it's never going to get built. They don't care enough. Nobody cares enough.
Those are kind of 2 different points. We were talking about goals and things that we want to see in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
And from that, you were trying to say that you can't plan for the future and plan every meticulous thing.
That's not what I said. I just explained what I said.
I'm telling you that this is the conversation that
the conversation was all those stuff was stuff we can't control. What?
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Perspective Podcast. We're here to inspire your perspective
and impact your mindset.
Cause I can't deal with him, Mr. Literal. Maybe we really should call you this.
I fuck with that nickname, no cap.
I don't think it should be, cause
Brooke didn't want me to, but like, nah, I like it. Mr. Literal.
no, Sirski. You guys know that 3 things are for certain when you come to the Perspective Podcast. Number 1, God is real and God is alive. Number 2, the tax man is definitely coming for you, so watch out. And number 3, no matter what happens, there's going to be a new episode of the Perspective Podcast every Wednesday. So make sure you tap in, tune in, share with your mama, your grandmother, share with the people in your life that you want to be edified, that you want to see, be inspired to have a new perspective and love. In-depth conversation is something new to be able to take in and understand throughout your week. Know that we love you. We're proud of you, and we're praying for you. You know, you guys got Roman here with you.
You also have Joshua here, Joshua Austin. J.A. Ja. I have a lot of nicknames.
Big Deuce. You guys know what it is. I like that. I like how he introduced the topic today. You know, be very meticulous with the details. Focus on the details. It's the little things, you know. We're calling him Mr. Literal, but it is the little things when it is that we decide to be something, no matter what magnitude that is. You know, they say that to be proficient in whatever skill, it takes 18 minutes a day, right? And the reason why it doesn't take 3 hours a day is because if you really focus on being better with the little things, the little details that you kind of go through on a day-to-day basis over time, it compounds into something bigger. You know, we talk about consistency. We talk about showing up even when you don't want to. We just came out of Locktober, which was our month of just saying, yo, we're about to lock in. No distractions. What did you say? No.
No drinking, no smoking, no drinking, no smoking, no fucking, no dating. Just working out, working and praying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Boom. I wasn't gonna say it as nice, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But that's just something that we wanted to make sure was very much ingrained in us, that discipline, that ability to focus and lock in for the month of October. And we have that throughout the year so many times, but it was just something that we could coin and we could name. But it is so important to really focus on the little details. If I can be honest with you, aesthetically pleasing, I might look aesthetically pleasing when I look at myself in the mirror, right? Once after I work out, I might look at myself and say, oh, I've got the work done. You know what I'm saying? And it isn't until certain body parts break down and you start to realize, okay, you might look a certain way, but you didn't focus on the details, and now your core isn't where it needs to be. You didn't focus on the little details, and now your legs might not be, or you know what I'm saying, your triceps might not be. It's the little minute details and the little things that we overlook because we might feel like, we looked the part, right? And so you might go out and have all of the things that aesthetically look pleasing in terms of to be able to attract the opposite sex or to attract a mate, right? And so you might have the jewelry or the clothes or the car or the money, right? But you haven't done the work to really work on you. And so a lot of parts of you is missing out. And then trauma breeds trauma, and then you start to bleed on somebody that didn't even cut you, right? So really focus on the little details in your life, in different aspects of your life, and don't get confused with looking the part and then not actually doing the hard work or doing the little things to be able to be whole or be put together. Can you talk about some of the little details and things that you've kind of made a shift in your life or change in your life, or things that you're focusing on in your life?
You said 18 minutes a day, that's all it takes. I think even that statistic is misleading because you believe it's 18 minutes of focused work. And, like, to be real, most of us don't know how to work, like, really work. Like, we start for 3 minutes, then we take out our phone and we stop for a second. And then we're on our phone for 10 minutes, and then we go back to it. And then we allocate that 10 minutes to the 3 minutes. Now we work 13 minutes. But you really didn't work for 13 minutes, bro. So it's like I was watching a video and it talked about how we have rapid learning. We do rapid task shifts when we're doing something. So if we're trying to do 2 tasks at once, all we're doing is doing this task, stopping this, starting a new task, count from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then ABC, D, F, G, H, I, J. and then you do A1, B2,
Mm-hmm.
C3. Like what you're doing in your head is you're going to A, okay, A. Now you're stopping that task. Going to 1, okay, 1. Now you're stopping that task. And then going back to B. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with the work that you're doing. You're not getting into the flow state. You're not allowing yourself to really engage in the work. And that's that's important for the details, because you're cheating the work, you know? Like I'll edit a video and I'm watching a TV show while I'm trying to edit. Like now I'm missing key parts of my video to edit because I'm focused on the show sometimes. And then maybe if I was focused on the edit, add a sound here, that'd be booming. But you know, you're hearing other stuff. And it's like that for everything. It's the little things that add up at the end of it. You know what I mean? So that would be my one like key thing. If you're gonna do it for a short period of time, but do it right, rather than doing it for an hour, 2 hours. Now you're working for 2 hours, but it's unfocused, it's scattered. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my actual.
I would say that yes, they say it takes 18 minutes a day, but I think it's just speaks to the consistency of showing up every day more than anything. You're absolutely right. We do not work. We think that we can multitask, but there's no such thing as multitasking. All it is you going from one task to the other very, very, very quickly, right? And so that's why it's like even, I mean, it's a bad example, but when you're texting and driving, you think that you're multitasking.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? You think that you're multitasking. You think that you're sitting there, you're driving, and you're... But let's keep it a buck. When you're really into that message, you're not focusing on the road. You're in autopilot while you're focusing on your phone.
Going back and
you're
forth.
looking at... you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you're distracted. You know what I'm saying? You can't do... I don't think the brain can do the same thing and give the same focus to two different things at the exact same time, right? And so, yes, you miss out on little things. And I also think you miss out on life when you don't allow yourself to really be focused and fully present in the moment from whatever task that you are getting into. And I fail at that so many times, where it's like I feel like I can do everything. Every opportunity was for me. I could do this and do this at the same time, and you know what I'm saying, and still be proficient. But there's gonna be some part of you that slips. There's gonna be something that slips, that doesn't get your full attention. And you said it. You're cheating yourself. You know what I'm saying? You really are cheating yourself. The reason, the fallacy of multiple streams of income and being an entrepreneur makes people feel like you could start something by yourself, and you need to have all these different ventures all at once. But the real successful person is somebody that says, I'm going to do this. This is who I am, and this is it. Mm-hmm. And then once this becomes super successful, then I can use the money that I made from this, or the opportunities that I made from this, and allow it to branch out and allow it to work for me. Where other people think, or where I thought for sure, I could do this business and do this venture and do this venture and do this venture, and then I'm constantly giving parts of me to other things and not being able to focus on what it is that is actually important, that's going to be the first stream. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the waterfall of life, right? And then slowly that waterfall goes out into streams. But if you just have one river, you know what I'm saying, or you have multiple streams, you know what I'm saying, and there's nothing that's gonna flow into these things and pump into these things, and you'll never be focused, you'll never be content, you'll never be full and whole. And I also think we do that in relationships. You know what I'm saying? We started off by saying, baby, if you want me, you gotta show me love. You know, so many times we feel like we can pour into different people, you know, and what happens is, we give a part of ourselves here, we get a part of ourselves here, and then we get confused to why we can't find ourselves. Well, you didn't make the main thing the main thing. You didn't focus on you enough to make sure that you were first that waterfall, that you were first the cup that was running over, that you were first the one that was giving. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That you were the one that was first put together and whole. And so because of that,
that counts.
That doesn't count. Like, man, I'm even sick. Go. We always talk about Deuce in all of our podcasts. He always gets a call, and he thinks that just because I get a notification is the same. It's not the same. And it's not the same. Not at all. We're completely different.
I'm putting that as the same thing. It's both dings. It's hitting the high octave.
It's not no both dings. Nothing. Copy. They can't. Y'all couldn't even hear it. You know what I'm saying? It's really just my watch. I turn up my watch. Yeah, it stops. But yeah, just focusing on yourself, really becoming that stream, really, not even that stream, that waterfall that allows to be the main force or the driving force to be able to pump out into streams and give to other things and feed the wildlife in your life. Some of your partners are some wildlife. There's some deers. You know what I'm saying? There might be some bears. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully not, though.
I'll let you know. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully not.
I'm just is it? But yeah, and I like the waterfall analogy simply because it's when you've been to Niagara Falls or you've been to any type of waterfall, the force and the energy that is produced by it, right, is so powerful, and it's so powerful that you can even harness energy from creating a dam, which stops the flow of the water, to be able to then harness even that energy. Sometimes you have so much to give to the world that somebody could even put a dam and block it up, and then be able to overflow and then regulate how much people get to be able to sustain what it is that they have moving forward. You know.
Yeah, I feel like even in that analogy, like you were saying, and you said it a couple times, like the first thing to pay attention to, or the first thing, like you're not limited, and I feel like that's a trap. Like you be thinking of one choice and that's a choice for life. Like with me, I wanted to write TV shows. I've never been hidden about that. I wanted to write TV, movies. I wanted to write, and it looked like in my life, like that would take a path that I didn't want to go on. I wanted to be, but I didn't want to go down right now. And I realized it can still happen. It just doesn't have to be the first thing you touch on. You know what I'm saying? You can focus on something else right now, and that be the thing you're driving force, and then lead you back there and later in life. Like you're not stuck to one option. And I think people feeling like they're stuck to one option makes it even harder for them to choose. You know what I mean? They go to school and they choose this thing. Now they feel like they have to live that in life. And it's like they're so anxious about that decision. But it's like there's no limit. There's no walls that you're building, that the world is building. It's only the walls you build. So it's like you got to see how you're doing it and meticulously plan out your life. And hopefully you get to do all of it. Because I've seen people do all of it. My idols have done all of it, you know, and they've been able to touch on different things. Kanye made music first, and then he started doing fashion. And it was like, and then that was his passion for a while, and then it became business ventures and all types of stuff. Same with Jay-Z. He started with music, then he started going into business ventures. Same with, I can name a couple people, Donovan Glover, Childish Gambino. He started with writing, and then he got into acting. Then, you know, you're not boxed in. It's you that creates this puzzle. This you that creates the maze of your life. Ooh, I like that. It's you that creates the maze of your life, you know? So just find the right flow, like Rose. Now I'm going to use your water analogy. Find the right flow, and you'll be blessed, bro.
You know, a wise woman created a company years ago. And
Angela Bassett? She's wise.
I was just like
Felicia Rashad?
Felicia Rashad?
Sorry.
Unless
Is it Felicia?
Felicia.
Felicia doesn't sound right.
Felicia sounds weird.
Yeah, it do sound wrong. It do sound wrong.
And put some respect on my mother. You know what I'm saying? She was Cosby Show mother. Come on now, she was going crazy.
I was about to say Joe Marie.
Yeah. And my mother. I'm saying when I said, you know, a wise woman created a company years ago, and it really is mom. Like, yeah, I was really talking about mom. And she named the company Four Streams. Mm-hmm. You know, and there's biblical prowess and reasoning for the reason of four streams. But when I go back to my flow analogy and water analogy, it is so important. Because at the end of the day, once you have, it's crazy. Once you have, I was just trying to mess me up for my whole thing, but it's all right. We ain't gonna let them distract us. We ain't gonna let them distract us from what we talking about. When we talk about flow and having four streams, you know, there's biblical prowess to it. But at the same time, it is the analogy of everything must flow first through you to be able to then give to other areas of your life, right? But if the first stream is not intact, if the first stream is not built properly, then what happens is the current is not able to run smoothly through the other ventures that you have, right? So yes, you can go and explore and do so many things in this life. You know, we like people feel as if you are only stuck to one thing. I went to school to be an accountant, and so I can only be an accountant. I went to school to be a lawyer, and so I can only be a lawyer. I went to school to be HR, so I can only be HR. You
I
are
didn't
able.
go to school, so now I feel like I'm stuck to.
I can't do nothing because I didn't go to
Nothing,
school.
yeah.
No, life is about being multifaceted and being in terms of being able to explore and to see different things and experience different things. God is not somebody that's sitting there and telling you to live a boring life. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to be fruitful in this life. But it means focusing and being cognizant of fixing your stream first to be able to then pour into others, to be able to pour into other ventures and other places. And you might figure out through you exploring and finding yourself in one area that I either love this area or I don't. And you have the chance, if you still have breath in your inside of you, to be able to then pivot and find something new. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. We talk about being limited, and I think the new generation that we live in now, they don't care about being limited. You know what I'm saying? They will quit that job. You know what I'm saying? They're not sitting at a job for 25 years and talking about, well, asaiga. You know what I'm saying? It's not like older generations where that was something that was common. You know, now it's like, man, we'll switch 4, 5, 6 jobs simply because I don't like the manager this month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it goes to the exploration of who we are. I'm gonna be happy before it is that I'm gonna be in a miserable situation. But at the same time, sometimes you gotta go through it. My mentor always says that to be successful, you first have to focus on you. To be something, everybody else wants to have multiple streams of something. Everybody else wants to have passive income. Everybody else wants to do everything. To be successful in this life, you need to focus more than anybody else. You need to put in work more than anybody else. And that means first focusing on you before it is that you focus on opportunity to make money. If you're just trying to make money and you just want to be, some part of you is going to be underdeveloped.
It's tough. I always got pushed back on stuff like that
Push
because
back, talk to me.
I always feel like your pursuit of something is what builds you. Like, you can't go you can't go into the pursuit of yourself if and think you're gonna find yourself. Truly, like, it's through you going for something external that you discover something internal. It's the weirdest way about life. And I don't know why it's like that, but you can't search within yourself just organically in order to find yourself. You have to search something outside of yourself, and it'll tell you more about yourself.
Break that
So
down. Break that down.
You're,
Get on the math.
I can only explain, my best way to explain it is television stories. Stories is a hero going on an adventure, and through the adventure and the challenges that he goes through, he learns not more about the world. I'm sure that comes with it, but he learns more about himself. And I've talked about this before, exposure therapy. You going against the thing that you fear, it's not that the thing that you fear becomes less weak. It's that you become stronger. You find that there's more to yourself. And in that same sense, it's like that for everything external that you go against. If you want to become a photographer, or if you want to learn more about yourself, learn what you figure out, see an interest, and you go towards that interest. And then you see, okay, I actually am kind of resilient. People do say no to me, and I still try. Okay, am kind of consistent. I keep doing this every day, and I'm sticking to it, and I'm not, and you learn more about yourself. You're like, I'm good at taking photos. You learn through the challenges, through the story. So I would say that it's not a building yourself first. It's kind of like a jumping off the cliff, and that's the only way to know if you can fly.
See, I'm trying to find a scripture because I know that I was reading about a scripture about finding yourself, and because I hear you even when you say that it isn't to find yourself is not you can't find yourself in just finding yourself. is kind of what I'm kind of grabbing from it. That there's other things and external things that happen to you or happen for you that allow you to then find yourself in life. Is that,
I mean,
is
I
that
can tell
kinda what
you,
you're saying?
I can tell you like this, like you can't give me an experience of you being with yourself and discovering something about yourself without you pointing to a situation that happened.
But situation is
life.
is life. Yeah. So it's
External.
like, so I mean that has to come hand in hand. Like
That's what I mean.
no matter what I've gone through, it's the experiences that I've had that shape me, and then but then by myself is when I find myself. Because how many times situations and things happen to people, but they don't take the time to find themselves. And in finding yourself is in the quiet time. But finding themselves can be external from the situation after they've gone through whatever they've gone through.
But that's my point. You have to go through it. It like, and even them not finding themselves, they learn more about themselves.
But even going
through
through it doesn't mean that they change. It doesn't even mean that they find themselves.
it. Who ain't nobody talked about change.
But I'm saying you can go through something and still not find yourself. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, but I'm saying you can't find yourself without going through something.
But
That's my point.
and I'm saying life, you're gonna have to, unless you're locked up since birth, you're gonna have to go through something. You know what I'm saying? So that's so you out here trying to trick my mind. No, joking. Yeah, you gotta go through something. Everybody kind of goes through something, no matter big or small or whatever your story is. It really is just a matter of when I say finding yourself is being able to be in the quiet time. One of my favorite movies is Count of Monte Cristo.
Go.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I love it is because it's a situation where a man, I don't want to spoil it, but a man that was innocent of certain crimes goes through this horrific experience. And in those times, he blames everybody else, blames and mad at everybody else until he gets to the point where he allows himself to be still, even though he was not the one that committed any crimes or did anything bad. He allowed himself to be still and find himself in a place of being at his lowest point, right? And from that, being able to leave that experience better. You know what I'm saying? Leave that experience whole and still vengeful and still, you know, they go through the complexities of the story. Again, I'm not trying to ruin it, so not trying
I've
to.
never seen it, so yeah, you're not.
Which is crazy that you've never seen it. Like that's one of my favorite movies. No.
Old school, black and white.
No. Okay, how old do you think I am? Like,
I've just never heard of it. So
Count of Monte Cristo.
No,
I've talked about it so many times. It's an amazing movie. We'll watch it for sure. But the reason why I love it is because what it teaches you is just because of experiences that you've had, whether good or bad, it all works for your good if you allow it to, right? It basically mirrors the same story as Joseph, you know. Joseph was a character in the Bible that did absolutely nothing. His brothers were just jealous of him. His father loved him the most. His father gave him a coat that had so many colors on it.
Bear colors.
You know what I'm saying? Man was, you know what I'm saying? He had the Monclesi, you know what I'm saying? And everybody else had the, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, I don't want to throw out no brands, but you know what I'm saying? And so because of that, they devised a plan, right, to be able to hurt him, to be able to sell him off. Right, and simply because of that, he was sitting there like, man, these are my brothers. I gotta trust them, and they sold him off. You know what I'm saying? Sold him into slavery, and because of that, you know, they thought that they discounted him. They thought he was worthless. He thought he was nothing. Fast forward years later, he's the one that saved his family and saved Egypt. Right, and it's the same thing as Count of Monte Cristo. It's like it's just because you're in a situation, you're in an environment, you're in a space, right? Doesn't mean that is the only place that God wants you to be. There's so much more available for you. There's so much more around the corner if you just take time to allow yourself to be still in the moment, to really figure out, okay, can I pour into me enough to be able to then have my cup running over? And that's when you find you and you find oneness in you, you also find God, I believe, or you find a version of God that you see yourself, right? You know, we are made in His image, but when you find yourself and you're in oneness and in peace with yourself, I found God in finding me. I found God in because I realized that I was not the most powerful being. I was not invincible. I was not beyond time. I was not the creator of all things. And when I found myself and realizing that, it's like, yo, as much control as I think I have because I can pick up physical objects, doesn't mean that I really have control. Doesn't mean that I really have the ability to wake up on my own merit and my own strength tomorrow. If he says that I'm not waking up tomorrow, I promise you one thing. I'm not waking up. You know what I'm saying? So that's my idea of it. I'm trying to think about another movie or story.
Bro,
that
every story ever constructed in the history of the world is about a sucky situation that the character finds himself in. Like, for real. And I probably say pause because Worthy might watch. It's a tough situation, and they find themselves in a place they don't want to be, and they got to find more to themselves to get out of it. You know, so like Cat Williams said, if you're still standing here today, you have something in common with every single superhero that's ever lived, every single person that's made it through the challenges that's come in their life, because it's just what we go through, and it's what we go through that helps us find who we really are. So it's like, don't be mad at it, bro. It's the mirror. Every challenge is that mirror, bro.
That reflection, you know, allowing you to see yourself. You know, I think that's the beautiful thing about God. You know, when you first see yourself for real, when you first allow yourself to be still enough, it's like when you look into water. If the water is not calm, you don't see a good reflection. But when you allow that water to be calm, when you allow that water to be still, you see your reflection clear as day. You know, I don't know why I'm in this water flow mode. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just think it's so powerful. It's one of the strongest elements for sure. But I think water is so powerful, and it's the reason why we even use our money to talk about money, to talk about water. You know, currency, current. You know, flow, bank, riverbank. You know, when you talk about liquidity. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about different points of money, it is so synonymous with water and with flow, and that's why it's important not to hoard, not to hold on to, not to create a dam in your life. You know, when it comes to money, allow it to flow in the same way that you allow it to be given away. You know, in this life, we feel like we gotta hoard and hold on to everything. You know, and that comes with our love, that comes with our care, our attention, our energy. But at the same time, when you give freely, you get freely, and it's not reciprocity, but it's just the ability to let go and let God. It's all about the small details when finding yourself, when looking for yourself, allowing yourself to be still in the moments that you might feel lost, in the moments that you might not feel like you have it all together, or you might feel like you're behind the 8 ball. I promise you, God is like a slingshot. He holds certain things back to be able to let you go further than other people that you thought were so much more ahead of you, right? Your journey and your time is your journey and your time. Let go and let God. You know, look at the small details in your life and really focus on your stream and focus on what you have to do to really pour into yourself, to find yourself, to see yourself, right? And then pour out into other ventures, into other things. Do not get stuck in one current. You know, find your flow in this life. You have one life to live. We don't get to respawn. It's not GTA. You don't get to die and come back and pay $500 at the hospital and come back and have a couple of your weapons. You know what I'm saying? It's not a game, but it is a game. You know, play it to your best ability. Play it to your best capacity. You're gonna lose sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have some nail biters, some game 7s. And you're going to have to come back next season more developed, more aware, more ready. You know what I'm saying? Make some trades. You're going to have to do some things in your life. You're going to have to get some people out of your life the same way you're going to have to be friendly and get some people in your life, right? You're going to have to find yourself and lead on family. No one man can do it by himself, right? There's so many different aspects to life, so many different little details in the minutia and in the grandiose of what life is. Find yourself, find you, and find God in you, right? And allow him to work within you and really wring out certain things in you that is not beneficial. You know, you have so much to give to this world, and you were made to give so much. Allow yourself to be able to have these types of experiences and see the beauty that is life. Man, I love this podcast. Can I say that? Does that sound superficial? Does that sound kind of? Does that just? Are we supposed to be humble? We're supposed to be. I love it.
Say it's the greatest podcast.
Greatest podcast ever.
Yeah.
you know. And I think the reason why I love it is because it's like, yo, just more than anything, camera or no camera, backdrop or no backdrop, you know, what it is it's also healing to us. So many times we go back and watch our own episodes and we're like, yo, like, you guys don't know. We needed it more than I think, you know what I'm saying, the world did. Sometimes we're speaking and it sounds like we're speaking to them, and like sometimes I even find I feel like I'm preaching, but really it's like I'm really speaking to me. I'm talking to me more than anything, you know. And like you said, that mirror, you know. So it's just super important. More than anything, I want you guys to know 3 things though. Again, God is real, God is alive. The tax man is coming for you. And no matter what happens, there was going to be another episode of the Perspective Podcast every Wednesday. Make sure you tap in, tune in, do whichever you got to do. You guys know that we're here to inspire a new perspective.
And impact a mindset.
You don't know what it is. Know that, again, no matter what happens, every Wednesday we're going to be back here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Perspective Podcast. We love you. We're proud of you. And we're praying for you. I can't wait to see you guys on the flip side and see what it is that you guys have, and see how you develop that waterfall, how you focus on that current, and how you allow yourself to flow into different streams in life. We love you. Can't wait to see you next week. I know what it is. It's just like that. Right.